few seconds. Yeah, we are on YouTube. So, good afternoon too. We are here for another English immersion. The topic of today is dealing with opposing opinions. So we are going to talk a little bit about how we deal with that, how we deal in a personal perspective, in an online perspective also. So let's start with the presentations, okay? Now you start. My name is Warley. I'm 25 years old. I work with IT as a front-end developer, and I'm also a Spanish and English host here on Talk and Talk. I'm here since 2022. I started with Spanish, but nowadays I'm focused more on develop my English skills, and that's it. Jessica, can you present yourself, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Mato Grosso do Sul, but now I'm living off Yorkshire, England. Um, I'm in Brazil. I'm a lawyer, but now I work as a volunteer in a community in a Campfield community. And in less than 1 month, I moved for the South England for working as care, support care. Um, yeah, and my day off here, I used to go outside and visit new places. I live now in a small city, so new there isn't like things for do it, just to walk. It's a beautiful place, but it's a small city.
Very great. And how is the weather like in England for you?
Right now, that's very crazy, but right now, let me check the weather. Just a minute. Uh, it's so hot, so warm and sunny, but it's 21. 21 is really, really hot and summer here.
So different from Brazil and where I live. So yeah, very great, very great. And how about you, Christian? Can you present yourself, please?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Jimenez. I am Bolivian. I am from Bolivia. However, I currently live in Brazil, Curitiba, Paraná. I currently work as a full stack software developer. I'm 36 years old. I am host here as well in Talk and Talk, Spanish and English host. And nowadays, I'm trying to learn French as well because it's linked with some dreams that we have here with my wife that is living in another country. So that's why I started French the last year. In my free time, I really like to practice and learning more about different languages, as just already said, as well watching TV, playing football, playing volleyball when I have the opportunity. That's it. That's it a little bit about me.
Very great, very great. Thank you, Christian. So let's start with the question number one, okay? So, do you think it's possible to have a productive dialogue with someone who has a completely opposite opinion to yours? And if you think so, how we can do that? What do you think, Christian?
So, in my opinion, I think that it's totally possible to have productive dialogue, even 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 though the other person have an opposite opinion about yours. Obviously, all of the dialogue has to be within in the frame of the respect. I think that we have to respect each other's opinions, although we think that they are wrong, or although we think that we are right. I think that it's important to respect different opinions. Another thing that I would say that obviously, if the conversation of the dialogue is it's polite and that person is rude, I think that there is no there is any problem with that. There is no problem with keeping or maintaining that kind of dialogue. Another thing that I consider important to say that we can learn from any different point of view. So I think that every person has something good that we can learn from. So yeah, that's my opinion. In my that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we all can learn with everyone and about every opinion. But and so because of that, I think it's really possible to have a productive conversation with someone who has a different opinion. But I think sometimes it's complicated, mainly on the social media and online, for example, because people have a lot of extremes opinion, so they aren't open-minded and they aren't open to listen another opinion and to have a really conversation, you know. So I think it's pretty complicated. Even it's possible, I think it's pretty complicated to do that mainly on on social media online, for example. But what do you think, Jessica? What's your opinion?
I agree. I guess it's possible, but it's really really hard because um, sometimes we need to start conversation. Even you have your opinion, um, but you can you can change the things. Like you can learn something new or mm, know something new. I mean, we sometimes we receive so many fake news, and then we can check the things, and then we can okay, I was wrong. That's I guess that's part. It's really right hard. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong when I think about that. So when you start the conversation, you need it to be this thought need to be clear in your mind. You could be wrong about something. It's okay, and nobody has like how to say I'm trying to say nobody is the the my opinion is about how I feel, how I think, how I receive the news is no totally right. So you can we need to change. That's me. We need to learn something new. We need to it is part, I think, is more hard because sometimes you understand.
I think she internet now. She's really can you listen me? Can you hear me, Christian? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can.
So I think it's Jessica internet. Maybe she will be back. But uh many how can I say let me see. Yeah, why will we wait? Yes. So while we wait Jessica back, are you just yeah, I think she's internet. Is her internet. I think the point that she brought about this point of well I'm wrong and that's okay it's a really important thing and I think it doesn't happen on internet for example because I think it's always just a, a a kind of battle that I'm right and you are wrong or I'm right and I prove that you are wrong and it's just these extremes of opinions, you know. So I think it's pretty complicated to think about that because people don't respect their other opinions and the and they don't have this flexibility, I guess. But Jessica, can you hear me right now? I don't think so. He's frozen again. But okay, uh, right now, let's try. Let's try. Can you hear me now? So, really great. You are frozen. You were frozen, actually.
Sorry, I was talking to everybody just stopped. It was, oh my God, I say something wrong.
Yeah, I think it's just your internet, but that's okay. Uh, can you continue? It's okay for you? Your opinion? You are muted.
I have finished.
Okay, so let me just
And I don't know which part I finished, but
yeah, I was talking with Christian about your opinion because I think this point that you brought about well, I'm wrong and I understand your opinion, or I don't know, I disagree with you, but it's okay also. I think it's so important, but I think it doesn't happen on internet mainly because it seems like always I think it's always just like a battle between two people and they think always that well I'm right and you are wrong, or I'm right and I will prove that you are wrong. So
yeah, it's
it
like a
seems like
fight every single time. I need to
yeah,
prove you are wrong. I need to prove you
exactly,
are wrong, and I am right. Yeah,
exactly,
and
exactly.
of course, I bring something. It'll be like a dream, but yeah, I would like it that's happening more often, but unfortunately, just we need like sometimes like you prove you are wrong, I'm right all the time.
Yeah, it seems like it's always that. So it's complicated because I think it's kind of the utopia in the internet or in Twitter or in social media in general because when I see a discussion, a respectful discussion like that, I think it's really strange because it's not common exists that. So I don't know, it's really strange to think about well, we can have a respectful conversation and we can disagree with each other, but that's okay. It's pretty normal to have different opinions, but it seems like just always a fight, maybe. So yeah, it's complicated. But okay, let's go to the question number two. What strategies do you use to remain calm and respectful in online conversations, even when confronted with different opinions from your own? What do you think, Jessica? What do you do?
I block. No, that's yeah. Now I need to like bring opposite opinion about that because the strategy for to be calm, it's no reading, nothing, because sometimes it's pretty hard to be calm because some things it's for me, I guess it's like it's um general questions is like what's color it's the sky, it's blue. That's everyone everyone know about that. So of course we have many, if you stood and we understand that this is no color, but I mean what's color, it's red, something like that. It's right. And then sometimes the people start to make questions, silly questions. I don't know if it's purpose or proposal with proposal, or just for just for this is in Brazil, it's pretty common, like okay, I am stupid, and then I just okay, I'm stupid, I keep being stupid, like now this conversation in English. For us, this is very important. For me, for you, for Christian, that's very important, because this open the doors for world, for job, for trip, for everything. For some people, this is bullshit. Like, you don't need to learn another language. Of course, we need to learn Spanish, we need to learn French, we need to learn Portuguese, because our language is so hard, like every single language. We need to learn English. English is the lingua about word. If you don't know English, you can do anything outside abroad. I mean, you can do anything abroad. And for some people, that is bullshit. And then I don't understand sometimes. And then why why they keep stupid about that. Okay, I don't know English, but I respect you. You start to learn English. I respect you start learning French. I respect you. You start learning Spanish. I respect. Okay, I don't know, but it's okay. But for me, that's the health conversation. But sometimes we say many things about this subject, about another subject, other subject, and then I guess the healthy way, it's no see, no uh when it starts something like that, it's just go on, go out, and then try no bring for you, and then yeah, I'm trying to say something like that.
Yeah, I really agree with you. And I don't know, sometimes people have so stupid and absurd opinions that I was thinking, well, it can be it can be real. I don't know. So I think many in in Twitter or in social media in general, we have a lot of people giving a lot of opinions. But sometimes it's strange because they have so stupid opinions that they are just uh how can I say, colocando em dúvida. Let me see. Yes, in doubt. I don't know. Just to actually they are trying to change the facts. I think is that idea. As you said, the sky is blue, for example, but sometimes someone is saying that it's not blue, so they try to change the facts. So I think it's just a waste of time in the most cases, and it's pretty complicated to have a conversation with someone that have um this kind of opinion. So it's pretty complicated to deal with that in my opinion. Sometimes I get mad because I'm just reading comments on a discussion online, and I'm not even participating on the discussion, you know. So I don't know, just with the comments and their opinion, it's complicated to me, and I get mad, but it's pretty complicated to deal with that. But how do you do that, Christian? What do you think?
So I think that it's kind of difficult for me to handle those kind of situations, but nowadays I'm trying to maybe to understand that there are some people that they just want to minimize your opinion, or maybe, as Jessica said, maybe that person just wants to annoy you or bother you. There are some other people, colleagues, that maybe they don't care at all about the reunion. They just want to minimize you, I would say. So when I feel that it happens and there are bad intention with a specific person with me, I try to calm down because I have to understand that maybe the problem is not with me. The problem is with that. It's something. There is something wrong with that person. Obviously, if it is personal, I need to talk with that person to know what why that person acts like that. But in the middle of the reunion, I just take a deep breath and try to calm down. And I know I will remember a quote that I try to use in every situation like that. That it's better have the no, it's better have peace than have the reason all of the time. So remembering that maybe the problem is not with you, the problem is not with you. It's something that make me feel better when I face those kind of challenges.
Yeah, that's so important because I think in most cases the problem is not with you. It's just in this point about extreme opinion and with some when someone is just giving a a hard opinion about this point or just criticizing something. I think it's not mainly about you. So it's important to not reserve that for you. So as you said, just breathe. It's important in trying to deal with this opinion, but the main points is not about you, and that's okay. It's just people give some interesting opinions, interesting opinions.
Too
Jessica,
late
go
for
ahead.
me. I observe everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really not easy. But uh, connect with that. Yeah, let's go to the question number three. How can we differentiate between constructive criticism and a personal attack in an online discussion? It's a difficult question, I guess. But what do you think, Christian?
Yeah, I think that is a really difficult question. But in my opinion, I think that it's totally clear when someone is just trying to to bother you. Um, I think that when they just focus, I think a good sign is when that person has just focused in the things that you do wrong, and that person doesn't show you the things that you good great. So I think that when they are just focused on that, is a good sign of knowing that maybe that person is just trying to criticize you or bring the bad things that you've done. Another thing that it's I would say that the expressions, maybe the expression, the facial expressions, or even the words, I think that it's totally clear when someone is just trying to criticize you personally, and it's not something like a professional feedback. Um, so I don't know how to differentiate it technically, but I think that I brought some examples on how we can find or how we can figure it out if that person is just directly attacking you.
Amazing, amazing. And how about you, Jessica? What do you think?
I totally agree, but I never I that's so hard for me because I can see sometimes the difference. Sometimes of course if somebody brings something for you like, oh Jessica, you do something wrong, this is the way for do right. I guess this is more properly, more polite. And then but sometimes you are so involved, I mean, so immersed, and you can see the difference between. Um, yeah, that's for me, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's really hard to understand that. I think mainly in the online environment, it's worse. But I think we can do some things that help us to understand that. As Christian said, I think it's a way to speak. So I think if you listen about um their tone of not your tone of voice, but their tone of write their opinion and how they are explain the wrong point that you have, for example. We can understand a little bit about if it's a really constructive point or is just a personal attack. So I think it has ways um to say for someone or to give someone a feedback, for example. So if as Christian said, if the person is just focused on your wrong points and not to give you feedback how you can improve, for example, I think it's a good strategy to think about this way of opinion, you know. So yeah, we have these strategies, but I think it's pretty complicated. You know, my environment is pretty complicated. So let's go to the question number 4. In what situations do you think it's important to remain silent in the face of an opposing opinion rather than trying to argue? What do you think, Jessica? Or how do you do that?
The situations when you are employer and your employee have a different opinion, that's important situation, you to be silent because you don't want to be unemployed. And then yeah, that's, I guess, the first situation. And the second situation, when your girlfriend say something and then you are a boyfriend, you need to be silent because every woman is right. And, I'm just yes, I guess the first situations is for everyone. Um, I believe every opinion, even the opinion it's so sucks and just bullshit. Sometimes the better way if you are to be silent and then no try to agree something because sometimes it's not healthy. If you could be right, you could and the person could be wrong. It's not healthy you for your mind. And then but I sometimes I'm starting agree in that situation when you have like a um uh, opinion about I don't know how to say preconceito, racismo. This is the things you never could be silent. You need to say something. You need to be in the front and then stop for this situation. But ever or else another situations, it's the better way for your mental health is to be silent.
Yeah, I agree with your point about when your girlfriend is talking, you get silent because she's right. I really think you're right. But also related to the work environment, I think it's also important because you need to choose your battles. Maybe you are right, but I think it's more important to be employed. So it's important to get silent also. But I don't know. I think when you have a discussion that it's going to a place that you know that's just a waste of time, you know. I think it's important to get silent. That's okay. It's not important to prove that you're right or this idea because it's just a waste of time. Sometimes people think that they are right and you can't. prove the opposite, and you can explain, and actually the person will want to accept your opinion. So it's just a waste of time. So I think in this situation, it's more important to get silent, I guess. But what do you think, Christian? What do you do?
I would say that maybe when there is no room to have a common agreement, and you really find out that there is any there is no options for have a common agreement. I think that it's a time for maybe remain silent, because you already know that you have tried everything maybe to explain your point of view, and even when you already did that and that person is not capable to understand your point, I think that again the same thing, right? Maybe the problem is not with you, and that's it. Maybe it's impossible to change the way that the other person see the problem, or see the reunion, or whatever you are talking about. So another thing that I completely agree with Jessica, it's that we don't have to remain in silence all of the time, because if it is an attack, an direct attack at your person, or there are some racism attacks or judgment attacks, I think that's you have to do something with that. Obviously, that will go out of the specific situation, because that I think that that problem is personal. So maybe you can handle it in another way. Mm, and I think that's it. That's my opinion.
Perfect, perfect. So let's go to the question number 5. What are the main difference between dealing with opposing opinions online and in person? What do you think, Christian?
So I think the main difference is that you are not in the same room, and I know about some colleagues that seem kind of brave when they are talking about their ideas online. But when you are in really present and in a personal reunion, they are not like they seem online. So I know that that happens often. But another thing that it's you can see maybe you can see the expression of the faces, but I think that it's totally different. Maybe we can feel safe here in behind our screens. Maybe the environment it's so different when you have a reunion or a meeting online, if we compare it with a meeting in person. So um, yeah, that's it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's interesting this idea of the difference between online and in person, because I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions and a lot of important and strong opinions online, but maybe they would do that in person, for example. So I think it's interesting to think about that, because if you have so different opinions and ways to say that online and in person, I don't know if it's right to do that. But I don't know, maybe it's just a way of say and to express in person, for example, and it's different. It's difficult to transmit these expressions online, for example. So it may be happen that, but I think a lot of people don't have this courage to speak at the same way online compared to in person, for example. So it's an interesting point about social media, I guess. But what do you think, Jessica?
Yeah, totally agree with both. because in the internet it's more it's a lion, and then I can see I am strong, I can see anything, and then face to face, and then sometimes it is no too brave. uh, and then yeah, sometimes right, and because sometimes it's the same bullshit in the internet and face to face. But I guess in the online, it's more fast, because you just can say your opinion, because when you have the conversation face to face, we have a like international like interação. We have the conversation, and sometimes uh, in a polite conversation you hear and then talk, and you hear and then talk. And the internet, no, you just send. It um could be more uh, deep and then personal, and then yeah, I guess I guess could be more the the things could be more wrong and then personal and deep in the online conversation.
Yeah, I think another point it's related to understand the opinion and the tone that someone is giving or their opinion online, because it's really different when you do that in person, that you are seeing the other person, and online. So it's difficult to understand their expressions and this tone of speaking, you know. So I think it's another difficult point about the online environment, because it's more hard. It's harder uh, to understand that. I think so. It's more complicated. But okay, let's go to question number 6. Is there any difference in the way people react to contrary opinions on LinkedIn, for example, depending on their age, gender, profession, or geographic location, for example? What do you think about that? Yes.
I need to be honest, I never seen this behavior in LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn more than years ago right now, because in Europe and England, sorry, in Europe and England it's pretty common. You need use LinkedIn or Indeed. But I never see um this kind of discussion in LinkedIn. I don't I don't have a opinion about that.
And how about you, Trisha?
So let me see. Mm, I think that LinkedIn is a social media. It's a different social media. I think that we can find like a lot of unpolite or rude people on LinkedIn, because I consider that LinkedIn is for professionals. And in my opinion, a person who decide to open its LinkedIn account is a person who is willing to respect other opinion. If we compare it with Facebook, that it's so different. So I cannot see this kind of behavior as well. I think that people can have maybe an opposite opinion or a different opinion, but without being unpolite. Obviously, I have seen some discussions on LinkedIn. I remember that one specific of Philips, that is the CEO here in Talk and Talk, who was complaining with a guy who called him that he was cheating on people about what he was offering, about being fluent in 12 months. I don't know if you have seen that post. Yeah, that was so interesting. So it became like a Facebook post. But it's as Jessica said, it's not that normal to see that kind of complaints, I would say, or discussions on LinkedIn. I think that it's really weird to find that those kind of examples. I would say that LinkedIn is a place where you can explain your ideas politely, and you can expect to get the same kind of respect from the other users. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Everybody's so happy in LinkedIn, so rich. And
exactly, exactly. I remember that discussion that you said about this guy in Philip, and my opinion is just like Jessica said. I think in LinkedIn in general, it's a social media that that people there is always happy, and it's all great, and it's all impressive, and in so focus on that, So I don't know. It's just a utopic word, I guess, that LinkedIn transmits. And for example, today I saw a Philip post related to not put an image on your profile on on LinkedIn or any social media. Actually, not on in social media, on other professional platforms like LinkedIn. And a lot of people was commenting on this post related to, well, I don't know, I don't think it's right, and I don't think people should put just an image that order is it's uh it's asking for you. I think I need to put I want to put image that I like, and that's okay, and that should be important. That shouldn't be important on job assessment, on a job. How can I say? Uh, I forgot the word in Portuguese. The process of recruitment on LinkedIn, or else. Or so I think people is just thinking about a utopic world and a perfect world that recruiters, for example, don't think about that and don't filter the people related to this point, So I don't know. I think LinkedIn it's a utopic world sometimes, and people there it's also, so I don't know. It's pretty, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's pretty crazy when I see that. But yeah, let's move on. We are on the question number 6, so let's go to the question number, let me see. Let's go to question number 7. It's related to that. What steps could social network platforms such as LinkedIn, for example, take to foster a more respectful and inclusive environment for diversity of opinion in general? What do you think, Christian?
I think that is a tricky question because it's kind of impossible to handle this kind of situations. I think that yeah, I think that is impossible because you don't know who is gonna subscribe on your social media, or who is gonna open an account. I know that there are a lot of people who are just have uh, some attention, and they are so polemic in every kind of subject, their comments or every single thing that they do. I know a lot of people who are so polemic, and they cannot do a kind of calm post just for sharing something. They just have to put something polemic, and yeah, I think that it's impossible to it's impossible to segregate that, or maybe to filter that kind of content, because that wouldn't be good for social media. So in my opinion, it's it's not possible to try to create that kind of environment because real life is not like that. Real life is different. That's it. What do you think, Jessica?
I totally agree, but I have just one. I don't know which country in Europe, maybe Norway. I don't know how to say English, but Norway or Dinamarca. So they start education about it. Of course, if you compare a small country in Europe with a huge country like such as a Brazil, that's pretty hard. So, but they start education about to be polite and check about information. I mean, the fake news, it's no, every single time they receive news, they check the news for prevent like a fake news. And then um, I guess this is the way, the best way, because if you start like um, making rules and rules, and then no education about how is the best way for use, how is the polite, how to be polite, how to be um how try understand, because sometimes I can say something in my words could hurt somebody. And uh, when you are oldest like us or more, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. So if you start it as a child, this is more easier. um they understand about the subject, they understand about the respectful, they understand about, okay, I disagree with you, it's okay, I don't need to go to internet and send many bullshit, many sucks and for everyone. Or and then I disagree with somebody or political about political, and then I don't need to go to internet and send many things wrong. And then yeah, I guess that's for the healthy country for every single word. This is about education, but this is needed like uh we could spend many years, and then for just for start. And then this is for no for now, no for tomorrow, no for 10 years. This is for plan a long time, plan for a long time.
Yeah, I really agree with you. I think it's important to focus on that basis of education, but I also agree it's not for today. It's in a long term, so it's really complex and complicated to do that. But I think it's the main point. It's the main point, I guess. So, guys, we have no time for more questions. So I would like to send for you the survey link. In the survey, you can say what did you think about the immersion or suggestion or a topic, for example. And I think that's it. I would like to thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the conversation, and I see you in the next time. Okay, so thank you, Christian. Thank you, Jessica. Bye bye.
Thank you guys. See you later.